We have the red Isengard player Mustafa on the top side against the blue Goblin player Trucky at the bottom side. And in our Discord, there is like a matchup statistics. So basically, we are kind of keeping up the track about every single matchup which we are able to see in the Champions League live commentaries. And even if we don't see these games, everything is going to be up to date in the Discord. So if you haven't taken a look into that yet, you can always be up to date to see the performance of each individual faction in each individual matchup. We have 2 tunnel start coming up for the Goblin player Trucky. On the other side, we see 2 furnaces into the Uruk pits for the Urukai for the Isengard player King Mustafa. King Mustafa is actually from Syria, but he always tells me, hey Shanks, can you put the Turkish flag, because he is now living in Turkey for a long time. And just, you know, I don't want you to get confused. He's not a Turkish guy, actually, he's from Syria. We have 2 furnaces, Uruk pit into the 3rd furnace. On the other side, we see 2 tunnels into the spider pits. Okay, so basically it's a spiderling opening. That's something we won't see very often in Battle for Middle-earth 2, because the spiderlings there are not nearly as powerful as they are in Rise of the Witch King. They are actually quite efficient early on mid-game for harassment. They are dealing great amount of damage to buildings, extremely mobile. They can actually be in like a light speed, like a matrix unit, you know what I'm saying? They can pretty much teleport from one location to another location. And a Goblin Cave coming up right after. We have a Urukai start, and remember the spiderlings, they are supposed to be a counter to the swordsman, but they cannot fight against the Uruks. Uruks are just too powerful. Remember what Gimli is saying, this is no rabble of mindless orcs. My dear Theoden King, these are Urukai. Their armor is thick and their schlong is long. We have Uruks leading forward.
This is no rabble of mindless orcs. These are Urukai. Their armor is thick and their shields broad.
Their armor is thick and their shields broad. So we have now spiderlings joining the battlefield. Once again, they are also able to get invisible around the trees. Ingmar is freaking strong in the tournament in Mordor also. But again, it's too early to see that, you know? Because, how can I say? I believe the skill gap, there is a skill gap between the players. So we don't know how reliable the informations are, you know what I'm saying? And basically, after like 2-3 days of the Champions League judging and saying this faction is strong, this faction is weak, it's a little bit too early to make a statement like that. I would be a bit more patient and, you know, just let it go with the Champions League, wait a couple of weeks you know, until we get like hundreds of games done. Then we can judge maybe better to see not only like 8 or 10 games, but maybe 100 games for each individual faction.
Is facing Mustafa the 1.00 Zoomer. The epic battle begins. Is Trucky gonna hit like a truck? Or will Mustafa fire trucks up his towers? Boys Clan in full support.
I mean, I don't know about the Boys Clan, to be honest, Eternal, because yesterday Rick was playing for the Boys Clan against Vidira in the Champions League and he got smoked 4-0. So I don't know about the Boys Clan. Maybe the SDK clan is the way to go, who knows? The furnace is going to be protected for now. The spiderlings are also kind of vulnerable against archer damage, but great positioning from Trucky, hitting like a Trucky. We have now Uruks and pikemen leading forward. Goblin warriors are retreating. Goblins are no match against the mighty Uruks. You will need to out spam them big time. With that I mean, like, you can, in order to win this fight, you need at least like 6 goblin warriors, and you want to surround them to kind of use your outnumber advantage. Let's wait until spring tournament. Yes sir, I mean, that's gonna be important, and I believe that's also one of the reasons why we are kind of running it down now with the Champions League. Not only you know, to see the matchups, but also to kind of get the practice games done for the players. This way they can warm up their fingers and be prepared for the upcoming big event. Okay, Warden has been used. You can see them, you know, kind of greenish. They are taking poison damage over time from the poison bleeds. The spiderlings, that's not a great choice from Trucky. They will be killed by the enemy pikemen and Uruks. We have a fissure now for the half-throw swordsman, aka my most favorite swordsman in the game. They are so sexy, dude. I mean, they are so unique also, you know. I like them so much. They are so reliable, so strong. They cannot get trampled down. That's the only swordsman, by the way, that cannot get trampled down. That's huge. We have now, you know, goblins. They are just waiting here. They cannot really do much. We have also Weapon of Thunder coming now from the clan setting from the Isengard player. Weapon of Thunder are a great choice against goblins, sorry, especially early on, because you are still able to overpower the goblins, you know. And if you lose them, it's not a big deal either, because they don't cost that much. because like less than half of the Uruks, but they're also vulnerable as hell. Do you see that 2 shots by the towers or by the fortress is enough to take them down? They did actually 0 damage. They died very soon. Oh my goodness, man. I think you probably need like 1,000. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. Right now we have what, around 50 games kind of tracked, but by the end of this Champions League, when it's gonna be as active as it was in the previous 2 days, I am sure that we will get over 1,000 games. Over 1,000 games. But again, for me, it's kind of hard to say, you know, again, is this list really accurate? Because the skill gap might be there between the players. So we will see now once the top players start playing like Smokey against Irby, Sauron against Smokey and stuff like that. I think those games are a bit more valuable when it comes to judge the balance, you know, of each individual faction. But you can see in the Discord also, there are so many different matchup possibilities. Actually, that's crazy. You know, when you have 7 factions included, like in Rise of the Witch King, the amount of matchups you can get also depends on the map. You know, kind of crazy how much tracking you have to hold. That's amazing. But I like it, you know. It's kind of some sort of information, because people forget when it's not written down. When you write something down, that's what people will keep in their eyes, in their mind. Big War Chant is going to be used now for a counterattack from Trucky. At the after a couple of minutes into the game, Trucky, the Goblin player, has 550 command points in the bank. His opponent has 400 command points only, Mustafa. 4 power points collected. He has War Chant almost back up. He might need to use it defensively. He has 1 crossbowman, 2 crossbowmen, 1 pikeman, and 1 wildman of Dunland. But the half-trolls Warden are beefy, and they are also dealing great amount of damage, so basically you need to target them first. But the thing is, you will need to invest a bit more time to take them down. Maybe it's even a better call to actually kill the goblins first, since they get one-shotted in most cases. Okay, War Chant is available. Mustafa is holding it. Nice surrounding. Oh, Mustafa doesn't say a word, and Jersey Sniper is back on the menu, boys. The first victory for Boys Clan Trucky. At the bottom side, we have the red Isengard player Mustafa. He's facing and fighting against the blue Engma player Trucky at the top side. So that's the beautiful map, Last Bridge, and that's the bridge we are talking about here, by the way. And yeah, long story short, a great map. Double Furnace coming up for Isengard, potentially into... I mean, also in this matchup, you can kind of go for the clan setting, but clan setting is a bit more risky against Engma, because Engma has the chance to go for a really fast transition into the Wolf Riders, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that's the main strength of Engma faction in early mid game. The transition, the amount of speed, you know, behind your transition. So basically with 2 structures only, you can recruit every unit you would need throughout the entire game. And if you don't want to go for the cavalry, only 1 structure is enough. And that's the Hall of the Kingsman. Gives you the chance to recruit Trollmaster, which again gives you the chance to get into Extrovers, Gundabat Warriors, Pikemen. You have the Elite Swordmen, the Black Numenorians, and the Banner Carry upgrade, and the Rangers, everything in 1 single structure. That means you can eventually get like 3 Hall of the Kingsmen, and you have now the power of quantity of the spam, but also of the quality, which again will give you the chance to recruit one of the best archers in the game, with the long shot Felvin potential for the mid to late game, which is also kind of, there is no counterplay to that. Because again, you can get fear resistant to counter the Boromir's Horn of Gondor or the Drama Troll's Roar ability. You can counter every fear effect, but the Felvin cannot be outplayed. The only thing that can outplay Felvin is actually lag. So your best bet to outplay Felvin is when the opponent just misses it. It's kind of a skill shot, I guess, but let's be honest, it's not really hard to hit. We have Gundabat Warriors leading forward. They are, of course, stronger in a one-on-one situation than Wildman of Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. We have a Warg Pit coming up into the Warg Pegs. I think that's a good call, because now Isengard can also go for the Creepine. So you can use whole ability to get the buff from the War Chant, 50% more damage and armor, and then you can use the Creepine to debuff the enemy units, which is giving you a huge advantage in those early skirmishes. All ability will be used, hold ground stance to make them a bit more tanky. They are not able to trample. They are fighting now with more than 50% armor. They also get, I think they are considered as like a monster, right? So they get 10% more armor and they lose 20% damage. I don't think they are considered as like a cavalry when they do that. I think they are not cav, right? Because cavalry is supposed to, you know, trample. Okay. And you can send Trollmaster to unlock the rider while they run over. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's like a, I mean, the only bad thing about the Trial Master is if you need to be careful about the white guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's the heart of your battalion. So losing him will hurt you, but that's the only downside of this battalion. Otherwise, they have the recovery with level 1, which is already an impressive thing for the evil factions. That's the most unique thing for the evil. Only Angmar can recover while being level 1. Is it just me or the game volume is too low? I can change that, no problemo. The game volume is normally quite high, you know, that's why I wanted to lower this, but I don't want to make it too low either. But now hopefully it's gonna be fine. The thing is, the further I zoom out, the less volume you will get. So when I zoom out this close, then you will hear them breathing, pretty much. So Angmar is kind of playing it slowly. So let's talk about this matchup between Isengard and Angmar. Isengard, obviously, once you reach the mid game, you have a huge advantage over Angmar, and that's your eco, right? You have devastation, which gives you instantly a bunch of money, bunch of resources. You have industry, you have fuel the fires. Like Isengard is the strongest eco faction in the entire game, which again will give you the chance to get multiple Uruk pits up on the field, get heavy armor, forged plates, become really strong. Isengard is also reliable heroes like Lord, Sharku, and Saruman, and even Wormtongue. But Angmar has also, again, early presence with the Trial Master, and also mid game you have the Felwind, and you can kind of, with Felwind, you can kind of disable the enemy army. For example, there are some Warg Riders, you want to catch them, you use Felwind, you get pikemen in close range and you kill them. That also counts on heroes, because Felwind also affects heroes in the game, right? It's not like they're immune to the Felwind's ability. Basically, it gives you so much potential and kind of denies the opponent player from clumping. Against Angmar, once you see ranges especially, you don't want to be clumping. You don't want to have all your units at the same point, because then you will give him the juiciest wombo combo potential ever. So in a one-on-one situation, in long terms, I believe Angmar should be able to win those skirmishes. But if Isengard has a lead economically, which it should, then you can outspam the opponent, and you don't need to take a long fight or big fight. You can always take small fights, but take multiple fights. And since you have to sustain your eco, you can afford losing units, while Angmar can't. Angmar has the second worst eco in my opinion from all the factions after Elves. I mean, you have Volder with the pillage, but that's all about it. You have no other way to boost your money. That's the weakness of the Angmar faction. So clan setting for the White Man of Dunland, Uruk Pit and Warp Pit, 3 production buildings. Warp Pit level 2 is incoming, 500 command points collected for Isengard and 400 command points collected for Angmar. Traki has nearly 5 power points collected after the War Chant, which means you can either go for the Snowbind to keep one of the structures protected, also the Felwind like mentioned before. You forgot to change the score, by the way. Hey man, thank you so much for letting me know. Let me do this actually real quick. My bad. My bad. Now it's up to date. 5 power points collected after the War Chant now. He also captured this in, which gives you the chance to recruit those hillmen. They are basically the White Men of Dunland. Felwind now has been chosen from the spellbook of Angmar. Once again, Felwind, you know, even when you have like cavalry, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I love the Felwind design. I love that so much. I think there are so many potential plays you can make with the Felwind. That's kind of busted. For example, you want to disable the pikemen, and you just kind of Felwind the pikemen and get them out of the army, and then you can actually clump and kind of trample the enemy crossbowmen, Uruks, and White Men of Dunland with your Wolf Riders early and with your Snow Trolls later on. Okay, big attack is incoming. Felwind is available, but War Chant isn't. For 475 for Angmar and 500 for... Oh, beautiful. Oh, he actually trampled. I don't think that Felwind is going to change too much. Yes, it's going to buy you some time, and because the disable effect, they will kind of need a couple of seconds to get back on their horses, on their wargs in this case. And you are kind of able to stall the fight. But if there are no pikemen around, it's not a magical weapon which will, you know, win you the fight every single time. You need to have advantage, and Felwind was kind of blown away without any achievement. That's something you don't want to do. You know, Felwind is like a not really long cooldown, but it's not too short either. You have lots of extroverts on the field, but as you know, once you see this Warg Riders, you gotta get some pikemen. Very important. In the meantime, we have small fights for the map control. Uruks, once again, are beefy units. You cannot really fight against them. Even with your Wolf Riders, it's gonna take you ages to trample them. So early or later, you gotta make a transition into something stronger. This can be the Wolf Rider, you know, I mean not Wolf Rider, the Snow Trolls from the level 2 Wolf Den, which will cost you 500 to upgrade. or Black Monorans or Rangers. Again, you know, you have like a really strong army with like really exclusively, I mean, I think they are also the best pikemen in the game. The hill trolls, they are dealing so much damage, they are so tanky, especially when you get the heavy armor purchase on them. It's really hard to fight against them. They are so extremely powerful, also very expensive. They were countering literally everything on patch 8.4, guys. They could 1v1 against a swordsman, which is not supposed to be the case, you know? Because of the heavy spike collar, you get a huge damage reduction against every kind of source of damage. Hey, by the way, great here with the torches. Nice one. He also steals a bunch of money from his opponent with the pillage, and he might be able to take it down. Nope, not for now. But again, every time Wildmen are hitting, they are hitting extremely hard. Not only your structure, but also your eco is getting messed up. Very strong, very, very strong. So Engla is kind of in a really bad spot now, surrounded. The commitment now in front of the Hall of the Kingsmen, basically with the crossbowman. He's gonna use now the snowbind, which makes the structure untargetable, but also on the downside, you don't get the chance to recruit any more units during all this time. He's actually having like a sad face emoji and calling it a bad game and just leaving the game. And the score after the second game is gonna be 1-1. So we have a blue Engma player, Trucky at the bottom side against the red Isengard player. The same matchup like the one in the game number 2 on the map. Or this map is kind of bugged a little bit. Yeah, I remember this. Actually, the guy who made this one sent me a reworked version, but I didn't take it yet. Old man, yeah man, Rambi, what can I say, dude? I'm old man. Old man, playing video games. But that's the thing, you know, when I was 11 years old, I wanted to grow up. I wanted to become 18 to do whatever I want. I think there's like a paradox thing, right, about the humans. They always want to get something they don't have right now. And once they get that, they want to actually go back again. You know what I'm saying? That's like the human's brain, because you don't appreciate the current stage of your life, since you are always aiming for something else. And once you get there, you always miss the old good times. Double meal into the Hall of the Kingsmen. On the other side, we see 2-3 furnaces. I gotta zoom out a bit more to actually not see this kind of bad textures. 3 furnaces into the Uruk pit for Isengard. I wanna graduate and get a job, low-key. Yeah, man. I mean, jobs are good. The only thing about being adult is actually earning money. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing about that. That you can work and do whatever you want with your free time. I mean, not really whatever you want, because you have obviously responsibilities you gotta take care of, right? Especially when you have a family, you have lots of responsibilities. Creeping action is going on with the pikeman of the Trollmaster. We see now a third meal coming up for Trucky. This game is starting off a little bit slower. Thank you so much for the follow, HRT. Thank you so much, appreciate it. I hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Means a lot. Oh, what is this, dude? That looks awful. What the heck? Okay, that's the last time we see this map tonight. Trust me on that one. Crossbowman upcoming now from the Uruk pits. Pikeman start. So he's gonna do the same like his opponent. He will be creeping the Warg layer right next to his side. It should be easy. I mean, creeping a Warg layer in Rise of the Witch King isn't the most challenging thing in the world when you compare that to how the creeping works in Battle for Middle-earth 2 on the patch 1.09 version 2. It's just much easier to be accomplished. Now we have Gundabad warriors and pikemen, and that might be the first push of the game number 3. Remember, the score is 1-1. It's a best of 7 challenge. Whoever wins 4 games in this will get ahead. In this case, Mustafa is gonna lose his rank. And when you get married, your wife will tell you what to do. True. Basically, Benzi just explained it. You know what I'm saying? When you are a kid, your parents tell you what to do. You know, when you are adult and you are working, your boss tells you what to do. Then you are getting married and you are like, finally I am moving on. No, your wife tells you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Boys are always messed up. You go to military, your commander tells you what to do. You come to this voice channel, to the stream, here I'm telling you that you need to hit like a truck. So I am telling me in one way what to do. Holy moly, guys. Poor humans. Okay, nice one. The furnace has been taken down. This one is going to be taken down as well. I need to actually... Oh, what is this, man? That's awful. When I was a kid, I didn't listen to anyone. Oh, he lost the Trollmaster. You see, that's the main weakness of the unit, right? They actually get kind of crushed in a single second. There was sexy start for Truckee, but this was kind of painful. And now he's gonna replace the furnaces he lost, but it's fine. I mean, the good thing for Truckee in this situation is that he just didn't lose anything, right? He has still all the meals untouched since the beginning of the game. And offense in most cases is the best defense, but Truckee is not expanding as much as he should and could. That's, you know, that the map, the Brandy Hills, is not a very small map, so you can expand in many multiple ways. For example, look at this. It's like a huge area. You can at least build like 3 mills here, right? Easily. And the same also around this side. In the middle, you can also have plenty of additional mills to get a higher command points and also greater amount of resource income. Goblin King tells me what to do. Shanks, hey dude, Max. I hope, or I wish that the Goblin King is gonna tell you, hey Max Flags, stop calling Shanks. Unless you find a woman which doesn't command you and listen. I mean, to be honest, it's fine, because some dudes and women's body, you know, most women, and again, we cannot say every time that's the case, but I'm happy that my wife has now is reasonable sometimes, because sometimes I feel a bit more emotional and then she actually kind of doesn't tell me. I mean, guys, come on now. Do you think my wife can tell me, hey man, I'm really hoping that she's not watching, can tell me what I'm supposed to do? Hell no, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm the man in the home. I have the pants on. Crossbowman, Uruks, Wildman of the Unland, big push is incoming. We have a fight here. Engma was losing one of the mills. And Kribin is on cooldown, 500 command points, 3 power points, and 4 power points Warchan, and 350 command points only for Truckee. And now the counter push is going to happen. It's like you Shanks said, Shanks, the lower ratio faction with the best win ratio faction, anything is possible. Yeah, definitely. I hope she doesn't watch it. She doesn't understand. Thank God. In the 5 minutes, he won't hear Shanks for months. Dude, I'm always convincing. Dude, I'm a nice person to my wife, really, guys. I mean, she deserves it. She gave me already a child, and the second child, she's, you know, it's in her body. So I will get a second child very soonish in June. I don't know the thing yet, if it's a boy or a girl. I, to be honest, don't even care. But, you know, the amount of sacrifice she's doing, I mean, I'm not a person, I have like 2 left hands, guys. How can I say? I don't know how to cook, I don't know how to wash, I don't know how to make dishes, nothing like that. So she's actually doing all this stuff for me, you know, without me telling that, you know what I'm saying? Because she's in love with me. So basically, such a great person, she deserves it. Will your kids play BFME? If they want to, definitely. If they don't want to, I will abandon them. The thing is, I'm a Turkish guy, and you don't know like the culture, you know, behind that. In most families, when you're a Turkish guy, you are like a pasha. You know what I'm saying? You're like a king, you know. And when you are like a kid, your mom does everything for you. You know what I'm saying? And with kid, I mean literally until you move out, and you never move out. Why would you ever move out? Are you brain dead? You get everything home, you know, at home. You would never willingly move out until your mom wanna kick you out. In this case, my mom didn't want to kick me out. She was doing everything for me until I was married. And then after I was married, my wife is doing everything for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little pasha, guys. I'm telling you. And for that reason, I believe when they would leave me, I would be screwed, guys. Dude, I would have nothing to eat, nothing to drink. I would be starving like the Uruk in the films. Are you going to name your newborn after a Lord of Ring character? No, I don't think so. I don't think my family would agree with that one. Where are you from? I was born in Turkey, but I'm living in Germany, G. The furnace here is gonna be taken down. Is your mother Turkish? Yes, sir. My mom is Turkish. My dad is Turkish. I'm Turkish, basically. My entire family is Turkish. But I'm living in Germany now since 20 years. I moved to Germany 19 years, to be precise. The mill is gonna be found, and Truckee, I believe, is not gonna. Oh, he will be there just in time to save this one at least. He has the one mill, one mill to rule them all. Basically, 3 production buildings. It's like a mill around this, you know, to protect this area. And we have 500 command points for Isengard and 500 command points on point for Engma player Truckee as well. So it's pretty evenish. But Isengard is building an army warfare of Mordor. My kebab is Turkish. Why not your new son or daughter called Gorkil? Max. I know somebody who can help you, my friends. You know, I will make a couple of calls for you tomorrow, and then I will kind of just send me your mobile number so the person can contact you, and I think we will find a solution to your obsession about Gorkil the Goblin King. What is your name? My name is Barış. So basically, Turkish name means peace, by the way, which is, you know, you couldn't name me more wrong than that one, to be honest, guys. Like, most of the Turkish names have like a meaning, right? So basically, in my case, they named me Barış. Like, it means literally, when you translate it one to one to English, it means peace. I'm a peaceful guy, apparently. Do you know Turkish? Yes, man. Dude, I was living in Turkey until I was 12 years old. Of course I know Turkish. Congratulations, Shanks. Hopefully it will be a kind, healthy child, and that's the only thing I really am looking forward for. You know what I'm saying? Healthiness, you know, happy child. You know, making them smile is the best thing whatever. What a daddy can ever want. You know what I'm saying? When I come home and I bring her like an Easter egg, you know, like this, you know, Kinder Surprise or whatever this is called. She's smiling, hugging me, and, you know, laughing. It's like magic. All your problems are gone. Lots of pressure on Ingmar. During all this time, Isengard is untouched. Warp Pit, clan setting level 2 for the Wildman extroverts now. Uruk Pit, so here's all the units Isengard faction has to offer. 575 for Isengard and 450 for Ingmar. Here's all the 5 power points from the spellbook. Basically, Fjallwind, Snowbind, and Warchan, and 4 power points collected after that one. And Isengard is now aiming to get 10. So basically, now Isengard has the option to either summon additional Wildman of Dunland and go for a massive push. Or if you want to go for like a saver option, you can always get the Devastation unlocked and get a huge money boost. Where do you live now if you move from Turkey? Congrats on your parenting, by the way, Heman. Thank you so much. I'm living in Germany, close to Munich, since now 19 years. I feel like some kebab vendor in our town, Turkish, and his name is something like Kenan. What does it mean, Kenan? To be honest, Kenan doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Like, there are really old names with old meanings, and I believe there is also a meaning behind this name, but I don't know the meaning. How old is your first? She is about to be 4, Patriot. She's gonna be 4 very soon. So she's gonna be 4 years old, and the second child is gonna be born. And she's already excited about that, you know? She's like, oh my, you know, she's going to always, you know, here is my, you know, brother or sister or whatever. Everybody has different you know, everybody is saying something else. That's definitely a boy, that's a girl. I say I don't care. Did I miss something? Yeah, you have missed 2 games between Mustafa and Traki. And Snow Trolls on the field, one of the best cavalry units in the game. Commitment against the Wolfden. Does he have Snowbind? No, it's on cooldown. And Isengard might now be able to commit on this one. There is still 1 pikeman, actually, kicking the building sometimes. And then, you see, big spear boys. You gotta kill it, dude. If this one guy kills the wolf, then I would laugh so hard. Okay, never mind. He will be just barely able to save it for now. Don't trample into the pikemen. Yes, the snow trolls are tanky, but they are not meant to trample the Uruk pikemen. That's not what you want to do. So Traki is falling behind, and he's saying 2 pro. And eventually we'll call it GG now. He's demolishing everything around his fortress. Only the fortress is remaining. He has 10 power points collected. He might go for the Orc summon. After the Fjallwind, you have also the chance to summon the Whites or the Frozen Land. Frozen Land is a very underrated ability from Ingmar, and one of the few and only way actually to get a leadership unlocked. Remember, Ingmar faction lacks of leadership. So basically you have Waldor, which a hero who does give you leadership for certain units. But if you have Rangers, for example, they don't get leadership from Waldor, right? And if you want to make them stronger for a double buff, your Frozen Land is the way to go. It's very unique. It's the only land in the game which gives you, instead of a buff like Tainted Land and Elvenwood, a leadership instead. He actually went for an Untamed Allegiance to get the troll creep here under his control. A very meme thing, 10 power points, which can be useful only in some certain situations. It's like a, you know, how can I say, in like 9 out of 10 cases, it's not gonna be the best call ever, and it's just more or less like a waste of your PowerPoint spellbook in long terms. Because what it does is like you can of course use it on your say it on your fissure or troll and wolf tank, for example, to get an increased production speed of 75%. But again, you don't have the money in most situations to boost your wolf tank to get 75% increased production speed to spam those wolf packs and snow trolls. Does your daughter watches you when you play? When I was a child, I watched my father. In this room ever. So basically I'm here with a jacket. I'm freezing, guys, just telling you that, because then you know and realize, okay, this Shanks, this guy loves us so much that he's okay with freezing, being starving, but yet he is streaming for us, you know. You're welcome, guys, you're welcome. I want to hear your accent. What do you want me to say? Can you please speak Turkish for a couple of moments? Konuşayım kardeşim. Ne duymak istersin? Thank you for your sacrifice. You're welcome, Tweeter. Gollum. Did you just call me Gollum, Patriot? Or did you see Gollum on the map? That's what I want to know. Just, you know, just asking, just curious. How long do you plan to stream? It would be dope to see your kids watch the stream and play on it. I don't know, man. I'm a person, I don't make plans, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very spontaneous guy. It's fun for me. It's my hobby, and I like you guys a lot. It's always nice for me to communicate with you. I'm always looking forward to talk to you in the chat. So I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, but I don't know. You don't know life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say I am doing that for 5 more years because you don't know what's gonna happen in 3 years from now. Hell, man, you don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Has been defeated, Tracky, and after a great start. For the game number 4, we have the red Engmar player Mustafa against the blue Isengard player Tracky. Is Mustafa APMN? No, APMN is somebody else. I know APMN also. I heard about him. He used to be a BFME 2 expert player, right? Many years ago. I don't know if he's still actively playing the game or not. Hep bana hoş geldin, sefalar getirdin. 2 furnaces coming up for Isengard and 2 mills coming up for Engmar. Is your town near Constantinople? You mean Istanbul? That's not how it's not called Constantinople anymore. Long time no, my friend. It's called Istanbul, please. And not really, but they made like a new freeway. So basically, I was forced to go to Istanbul, and last time I was in Turkey, and with the new freeway they did, which you gotta pay a lot of money to use, but it's worth it. I was in like 1 hour and 20 minutes in Istanbul. 2 meals, Hall of the Kingsman, and 3rd meal. And Istanbul is such a great city, guys. If you ever go to Turkey, what I would always recommend you to do is find a guide. And don't go blindly in Istanbul, because it's too big, you know what I'm saying? Find somebody on the internet who can guide you through the beautiful places in Istanbul to actually kind of invest your time wisely. So if you're ever planning to make a vacation, to get a vacation done in Turkey and Istanbul, it's a really beautiful city. I couldn't discover not even 2% of the city in the 5 days I was spending in Istanbul last time, but it's definitely a city I want to revisit as soon as I can. And a very early Hall of the Kingsman coming up for Mustafa for an early transition into the Wolf Riders. On the other side, we see Warp Pit start into the Uruk Pit right after for the Warp Pass early on for pressuring and Uruk Pit for defending. Truck is gonna hit like a truck. Hey man, Daniel, welcome. It's the biggest city in Europe, yeah. It's the biggest city in Europe, true. And also one of the biggest cities in the world. And also, it's not a capital city. Most people, they have like a wrong information. They always think about Turkey and they say Istanbul has to be the capital city. No, the capital city of Turkey is actually Ankara and not Istanbul. Istanbul is still the biggest city in Turkey, don't get me wrong, but it's not the capital city. It's a beautiful city though. You gotta imagine that, you know, like 3 sides of that is surrounded with sea. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. You know, you have a great summertime, great wintertime, everything, but the economy is just too weak. That's the downside. You know, when you think about it, why so many Turkish people are living outside of Turkey is because of the economical stage of the country, unfortunately. So if you are not wealthy, you will have a really rough time in Turkey to survive. That's why people are kind of escaping from it and trying to build something else in different countries. Not because Turkey is not beautiful. It's a beautiful country. The builder, or not the builder, is what Norium would like to see. The builder has been taken down. We have a mill coming up now in the middle of the map offensively from the Engmar player. I like that. And also Mizahi. Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Just use industry on them. True. Just oh, now I get it. Rami is saying Turkey is not the strongest economical country, but you gotta just use yeah, but the industry got nerfed this patch, dude. They gotta use fuel the fires and build plenty of lumber mills. That's the only way. I was like, what is going on? Why is he randomly saying use industry on them? He talks about Turkey. Oh, this guy. Funny dude. Funny dude. What do you think about the upcoming Lord of the Rings Amazon series? I think it's great. I didn't like the teaser, if I've got to be honest with you. I didn't like the teaser. I was expecting a bit more information about the upcoming series. Now we know the name is called, you know, like Fight for the Ring, or what's the name again from the series? I forgot actually. Like Fight for the One Ring or something like this. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, what can I expect from it? I have no information. We only know that it's gonna be the most expensive series of all time. So that's like a big statement, right? To say that it's the most expensive series of all time. You know, that kind of raises the expectations from the audience, obviously, right? And when it's gonna be a flop, the disappointment and the flaming in the internet world is gonna be unstoppable. Basically, they will get flamed so hard. War chant, nice clumping here from Mustafa. He will be able to burst down his furnace in no time. Now you just gotta be careful with the Troll Masters. One of them is already badly damaged, and that's the tricky thing, you know. You gotta always keep an eye on your Troll Master. That's very important if you wanna be able to win those extended fights. And if this is gonna happen, in which your Troll Master is gonna be attacked, no, actually not. Troll Master is in a good spot, and that's why, for example, when you play Men of the West against Engma, that's why heroes like Eoma or Eowyn are a great call against Engma, because you can kind of target the Troll Master with your spear trolls. And if they are not buffed, they will get one-shotted. Look at this. Bam, Troll Master is gone. And bam, Troll Master is gone. And you are able to win the fight just like that. The counter-attack is happening now from Isengard. He was also using War Chant offensively and trying to take down the Hall of the Kingsman, which is a tanky barrack. So it's not easy to be taken down early on. And for me, I think it's more important and more reliable if you choose to focus down the resource buildings instead. Especially in the early stages of the game. That's very important. Being the most expensive series of all time not mean it will be the best one also, yeah, but again, that's the expectation level. So if you give up informations like that, or give out informations like that and say, hey, this is going to be the best, not the best, but the most expensive series of all time, what happens in the human's brain is, oh, okay, because and I think that's a mistake of the most people in the world, they always think money equals quality. You know what I'm saying? Even when, I mean, that's even count for us. Like when you go to a shop and you see two pairs of shoes, one pair costs you $20 and the other one costs you $200. What does our brain tell us? Hey, this has potentially a higher quality. Am I right or not? But it doesn't need to be the true and the fact every single time. Like when a phone costs $1,500, it doesn't need to be the best phone in the market. You always pay more than 80% of the money you pay for the brand, not for the quality. Trust me on that one. But that's how these companies are making money, because the humans, they have like a different mindset. They think the more expensive something is, the better quality it is, you know. The mid here is gonna be taken down. Isengard seems to be Ingmar killer. Yeah, true, Benzi. I mean, so far, Isengard didn't lose a single game in the Champions League. I mean, we have not seen plenty of games, but from the games we have seen, Isengard was able to have 100% win rate against the Ingmar faction. I think the Game of Thrones was pretty bad, especially the last few seasons. The last season was pretty bad, yeah. I started watching Game of Thrones in the season 5. Until then, I didn't watch it, and then all my friends in real life, all my family members, my cousins and stuff like this, everybody was watching it. They were waiting patiently for the next episode to be released. They kind of convinced me to start watching it from the beginning, when they were already done with the season 5, you know. And I personally enjoyed it, and Mustafa is gonna say nothing. There is no GG call, there is nothing like that. And once again, boys, Isengard is managing to defeat Ingmar. We have the blue Man of the West player Trucky. For the first time we see Man of the West in this evening against the red Elven player Mustafa. I think that's a matchup we have not seen before. We have not seen in the Champions League so far Man of the West against Elves yet. I wish the players once again the best of luck. What is the name of the place in Turkey Marcus Antonius built to Cleopatra? A war company, went a few years ago and told me it was a beautiful place. I don't know, man. I have really no clue about that, Caesar. I'm sure that the series Lord of the Ring will be a disappointment. Now that you say that, you will not be disappointed. That's the right mindset. Always expect the worst and hope for the best. I have not high expectations, that's why I won't be disappointed myself. And you know, that's the thing. I either want to be surprised and impressed by having relatively low, you know, expectations, instead of having high expectations and then be disappointed afterwards. How weird is Engma versus Isengard? Again, we have not seen many games yet. It's only 4 games, you know. 4 games. How accurate are those 4 games? It's a new patch, and we need to really see like hundreds of games in each individual matchup to judge, you know, and to say that's a bad matchup or a good matchup. 2-3 Malon trees, and even if it's the case, even if Engma is struggling against Isengard, that's fine too, because Engma doesn't struggle against any other faction. You know what I'm saying? Look at the other matchups Engma was playing so far. It's fine when, you know, Isengard is the kryptonite of the super faction Engma. That's fine. He's gonna creep this with the Rohan Spearman. They got buffed this patch. I believe they have now increased armor, if I'm not mistaken. Soldiers of Gondor are also joining the battlefield from the barracks. It's not an offensive barracks from Truckett, it's a normal build barracks relatively close to the fortress. They have now a 3rd farm coming up for the Men of the West. And that's something we have seen in every single version of the game. So basically, you start with pikemen, creep a warlayer, then group them up with the soldiers, and then go for the first push. If the rallying call, the builders. Hey, the builder, not the builder, not the builder, not the builder, not the builder. No, that's... Yeah, Mustafa actually lost a builder early on for no reason. This guy was actually kind of taking a bath or something, you know? He was thinking. Destroy. No Gandalf, no Aragorn, no Legolas, no Gimli. Disappointment. Yeah, maybe they have, you know, different characters. There is never gonna be Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas again, or Gandalf. But the thing is, even if they would add them, they couldn't use the same actors, because these guys are old now, my friends. You know what I'm saying? The Lord of the Rings series, the Lord of the Ring trilogy was done 20 years ago. You know, you can't expect now a white-haired Aragorn showing up in a series which is supposed to show you what happened in the past. Soldiers of Gondor.
Hurry, soldiers! Come on, soldier, move it!
Okay, there comes the soldier battalion. Sneaky little soldier. The Elven player was not able to see them until now. But is this too late? Never. I mean, maybe the Lancer is gonna make it on the field just in time. In the meantime, we have a fight in the middle, but again, Lorien warriors, they are also faster than soldiers, so running away is not an option. And archers and Lorien warriors are also able to get invisible around the trees. They removed only the stealth from the pikemen, so the Elven infantry beside the pikemen is still able to get invisible. Beautiful trample is incoming, but the shield wall hold ground stance makes them tanky enough to not get one-shotted. Now you gotta trample them one more time. I think he has kind of micro problems on his host eventually. One more trample, beautiful. And you can see, you know, in the older version, I think it was the version 7.0. In this situation, when they would use hold ground stance in shield wall formation, you needed to trample them like 10 times. Now 3 times is enough to kill them even in the super defensive formation. Creeping action is going on at the bottom right side and also top left side at the same time. So basically, for now, this has been creeped. This has been creeped, this and also this one. That means we have not a single warlayer remaining on the map. Forts of Anduin. Forts of Anduin is basically a reskin for the map Forts of Eisen. And at the same time, the Elven player Mustafa is creeping the troll layer at the top right side and also moving now to the last creep remaining on the map, the troll layer at the bottom left side. And you know, you can get the chance to capture those inns, which for the Elven faction would mean elves get the chance to recruit those peasants, and Men of the West faction would get the chance to recruit the Galadrim warriors. These Elven warriors with the sword and bow for 400 resources each. One of the most expensive, if not the most, I think they are the most expensive in units in the entire game. Archer range level 2 now for the Rangers, Barracks level 2 for the Tower Guards. Remember, Tower Guards got also buffed. They are now a bit faster. So basically, Men of the West is a faction that only got buffed. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they got any nerfs. Gandalf got buffed too. Israelite was moved from level 7 to level 6. And also the price got reduced from 4,000 down to 3,500. So Gandalf is a bit easier affordable now and gets the power spike with the Easter Elite a bit sooner. Double buff for Gandalf is always great, yet we have not gotten the chance to see him yet in the Champions League, because games normally don't last that long, and you have early on, you know, kind of easier affordable heroes that are, as you know, at least as effective. For Man of the West faction, we talk about something like Elma, for example, who's a great sportive hero, and later on you have also the chance to recruit Aragorn, a tanky hero with leadership potential, you know. I mean, to be honest, Man of the West doesn't struggle leadership-wise. So basically, almost every second Man of the West hero gives you leadership. So Elma gives leadership for the cavalry, Theoden gives leadership to everything, Aragorn gives leadership. Like, let's be honest, Man of the West is a faction you don't really have a hard time to get the leadership unlocked, you know. The only problem is that you can have only one leadership active at the same time. Boromir has leadership, Faramir has leadership too. So having multiple leaderships doesn't really do anything for you unless you split your army into 5 pieces, and every army, every group of unit you have has like a hero who offers you leadership. That's the only benefit you would get from having multiple heroes with the leadership potential. We have a fight here. Haldir is on the field, throwing actually the the Alvin player will be able to win the fight. Level 2, level 5 is required for leadership, and level 8 for the golden arrow, which is something similar to the cloud brick. You know, you can stun the enemy units. It also deals great amount of damage. We have now Arwen on the field. Arwen got a couple of changes this patch. Remember, that's a hero we have seen a lot in the later in the previous tournaments of the 8.4 version of the patch 2.2. And there was a suicide strategy from Arwen. So basically, she was using the flood, suiciding, getting revived, because the revive time from Arwen was shorter than the recharge time of the flood. So basically, instead of waiting for the flood to be back up, you would just suicide and recruit her once again and use flood to kill all the time the level 3 resource buildings. She was able to almost one-shot Balrog with that. So in the new version 8.5, they lowered the amount of damage flood deals to Balrog, but also to resource buildings. And in order to make it a bit more even, she got a HP boost. So she's now a bit more tanky, but not tanky enough to fight against tower guards for no reason. And Arwen has been taken down. We have Theoden King on the field, level 2. And level 6 is required for the Glorious Charge, which is a huge... I mean, let's be honest, it's the best spell for the cavalry unit. You get 100% damage boost, 300% armor boost, which gives you legit the option to even trample down the pikemen without getting killed. So now Suicide is not a badass. I don't know. I've not seen Arwen yet in the new version, especially not after getting level 5. Remember, she got killed with level 2. And Arwen is a great hero anyway, because the thing is, if you think about it for a single second, when you go super late game with the Arwen faction, you have Arwen for the Attilas, for the sustain. You have Elrond, Attilas, restoration to reset all the abilities of cooldown, You have so much sustain, that's what I'm trying to say, for the Elven heroes. You have to heal from the spellbook. Like, you can have infinite sustain. When you rotate this correctly, you can have always at least one time Attilas up, if not 2 or 3 times. Theoden King, getting more and more experience unlocked, level 3. The mounted heroes are a great counter to the cavalry unit, as you know. Even he one-shots them. And Theoden is a pure sportive hero, while Elma is more like a... You have spear throw, you have outlaw leadership, which means money, money, money. And when it's only pure about sporting the Gondor Knights and Rohirrim early on, I think Elma is a better choice, more reliable choice. But Theoden is better investment because Theoden's leadership is not exclusively for the Gondor Knights and Rohirrim. It also works on infantry and archers. We have now Arwen back on the menu. She's only level 1 still. Level 2 is required for the Attilas. Level 5, level 6, sorry, for the Flood. We have also Haldir level 3. Elven player is playing a little kind of campier game. He's only using those peasants coming from the inn to pressure. They cost only 150 each, so they are quite cost efficient. The farm level 2, that's painful. Does he have repair? Yeah, it was on cooldown, that's why. So Man of the West, I mean, he didn't need to lose that. He has a huge army doing nothing, Why would you let them just pass through and take down one of your most important farms in the game? It doesn't make sense to me. Stable now for the Gondor Knights. I would love to, guys, I'm telling you, I would love to see Glorious Charge. What about the bets? The bets were not opened? They had to be opened, right? From DMEC or from Balindro, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't realize that leadership doesn't stack. Yeah, leadership doesn't stack in BFME through the Rise of the Witch King. Simon K29, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Welcome. Welcome to the streamer, dude, and welcome to the Champions League of the BFME through the Rise of the Witch King in the best of 7 challenge between Mustafa and Trucky. That's the tiebreaker game number 5 between Men of the West and Elves. Haldir is level 3. More gambling bets are forbidden. Yeah, true. Flat is really good versus units, okay? Sauron don't like betting. Sauron, you know, forbids in Mordor. In the Dark Lands. In the fires of Mount Doom. So it looks like the Man of the West player is gonna back off a little bit because the rallying call has been used on his army from the Elven player. He has missed on cooldown, 5 power points collected after the mist. And if you collect 10 power points more now for the Elven player, he will get the chance to summon the Eagles. Like, if you go for the Elven Wood, you get the chance to get the End summon unlocked. And let's be honest, I believe in most situations, the Mist is a better call. Not only it will kind of make you win those fights in a specific area because of the debuff and the height potential from the Mist itself, but also it leads you to the Eagles. And the Eagles in most situations are better in compared to the Ents. Ents are great, when, don't get me wrong, when it comes to finish of the game, right? When you have a huge lead and you summon Ents and you have a huge army to back them off and you siege the fortress, then it's great. But other than that, when it's about winning a fight, Eagles can do much more work. The thing is about Rangers, they can also kill those Eagles quite soonish. Okay. BFME 1 working mucho point. We play every game, every Battle for Middle-earth game on this channel. BFME 1, 2 and Rise of the Witch King 2. No discrimination about any Battle for Middle-earth game. They all deserve lots of love. Almost level 4 King Theorin. He will unlock the King's Favor. And that's pretty nice, by the way, because King's Favor can develop those ranges to level 2, which unlocks their Longshot, right? And Longshot is a great tool, especially when you can combine it with Cloudbreak or the Horn of Gondor from Boromir. Remember, the Elven faction, you need to either build a statue or you actually need to use the Elven Wood to get the fear resistant. That's why in some situations you will see the Elven player when it's about dealing with Boromir, for example. When remember, Man of the West has no land, right? So, and there is a Boromir who always keeps stunning your army for a long shot potential. And if you see that, you can also go for the Elven Wood, which will grant you fear resistant. Arvin, level 3, by the way. I want to actually desperately see the new Flat. I want to see the damage output from the Flat now in the version 8.5. I really want to see that. I've never seen it before. I'm looking forward to see that. So the Inn is under control from the Elven player, no, from the Man of the West player, but it's going to be changed now. Arvin, what is Arvin doing? She's going to need ages to kill the tower. Now this tower will have some archers inside. Arvin is going to use Atelas for no reason. She was full health. There was really no reason to use Atelas. There comes the commitment, and we have Treebeard on the field, boys. Looks like the Ents are going to war. Oh, the barracks level 2. Hey, don't... Theorin King! Theorin! He's so young. Don't die, man. I'm telling you. Trample down the Mirkwoods. Oh, you will get... Oh, what is he doing? Don't trample the Mifflons. Trample the Mirkwoods. Oh, it's fine. He's fine. He's gonna get away for now. Just barely. But... the thing is that Mirkwoods, they got nerfed this patch. However, they are still the best archers in the game. They are the strongest archers in the game. And now, we will find ourselves in a situation in which it's going to be kind of difficult for the Man of the West player to deal with that. The reason why I'm saying that is, Elven player has Mirkwoods to back off this Treebeard, right? And Pikemen to back off the Mirkwoods. And against Mirkwoods, it's really hard to win the army against army fight against Elves. I believe what needs to be done for the Man of the West player Trucky is the transition into the siege works, because the Elven infantry is so vulnerable, and even the Elven Ents are very vulnerable against Trebuchet. Trebuchet with Firestone is gonna hit like a truck. He has fire instead, so fire is also not bad when it comes to win those fights, especially until, you know, the Elven player gets the Silverton arrows. Silverton arrows is the best ability when it comes to fight against enemy units, while the fire is more effective against structures and against Ents, for example, because Ents are burning from fire, as you know. Shoot him down, he will even take some damage over time when he's on fire. This girl is on fire. He's not even burning. Burn, Treebeard, burn! Did you hear about Mount and Blade Bannerlord Lord of the Ring mod? No, I haven't. This is something... Oh, nice arrow volley, by the way. How did Mustafa not pay attention to this one? He will be able to kill the wall only, but 3-bit is going to be taken down. Or, actually, the Rohirrim, they are not dealing too much damage to 3-bit. 3-bit is beefy guy. He has 5,000 HP. He doesn't die that fast. Now we have Rangers shooting down the pikes, and that's a Cloud Break stun coming up from the Elven player Mustafa to stun. There is no fear resistant, remember, there is no Gandalf and no statues for the fear resistant for the Man of the West. And the level 3 farm is going down next. 575 command points collected for the Man of the West player, but losing the level 3 farm is minus 100 command points in total. 3-Beard is trying to show his quality, but 3-Beard doesn't care. He doesn't care. 3-Beard is a beefy guy who is absorbing so much damage and creating so incredible much of pressure. The Rohirrim are even shooting him down. Fire should be his weakness, but guess what? 3-Beard is a hero who can get healed from the Atelas. And 3-Beard is just sustaining up more than the damage he's receiving from the Rohirrim archers. Trampling down the Mirkwoods. Mirkwoods are getting almost killed. 3-Bit is backing off, and he will just heal up passively over time to full HP. Then that's only one single end, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine a second one, imagine a third one, imagine a fourth one. Imagine when the entire Fangorn forest is deciding to move against the Man of the West. Hey Falcon, welcome. You should check it out. I will check it out definitely. To be honest, I have not played any online games besides League of Legends and Battle for Middle-earth games in the past years. Maybe it's time to actually try out something else. Maybe. So, we have King Theoden. Go for a trample. Trample, trample, trample. Already close to level 6. The Barracks level 2 is going down. This 3-Beard and his Ant friends are going to war, boys. And they are creating so much pressure. Look how hard this is. Like, the Rangers, they don't even hurt them. How is this fair? There is fire on the ground, they don't care. One trample is to take down those Rangers. There is no down for man. That's the last famous word from Truckee as he's surrendering the game, and the Elven player Mustafa is going to be victorious in the game number 5.